This lesson is going to show us how to put our stuffing box assembly into a sheet, create a parts list, and get some dimensioning. So we're going to go to New, going to select Drawing. We're going to stay with the default, which should be A size, ANSI, and a landscape. Should call up the Property Manager and Model View, and we're going to browse and start with our assembly. So find your assembly file. You're going to want to select the isometric view and make sure you have preview selected so you get an idea what it's going to look like. Place it somewhere about here. Leave room for our parts list. We now go up to our tools, go to Insert Tables and go to a Bill of Materials. We're going to select the default Bill of Materials. And we should get something that looks like this. Oops, I think I may have changed that. Let me escape for a moment. I'm going to try that one more time. Go up to Tools, Insert Table, Bill of Materials. Yours should be on the standard Bill of Materials. And now that looks better. Okay, next we're going to go up to Annotation and select Auto Balloons and select our assembly. Hit OK. I'm going to rearrange them just a little bit so they're a little easier to see, and you should have a balloon associated with the three parts that corresponds to your parts list. We're now going to start dimensioning each of these parts. I'm going to create a new sheet, go back to View Layout, Model View, and select, start with an easy one, we'll go with the lock nut. Okay, going to create two views for this. The sheet scale was set to 1:1. Select the front view and right side view. Hit OK. We want to put some dimensions on this. So if we go to Annotation and Model Scale, it's going to select the dimensions for us. If you don't like the location, we can move them around a little bit. Never a good idea to put dimensions inside the part. I'm actually going to switch this down so that that looks good. This dimension is unnecessary. I'm going to delete it. Take this guy and move it out just a little bit if I can. There we go. These extension lines should not be touching the nut, so I'm just going to drag these little tails up. Okay, that looks good for the lock nut. Create another sheet. Go back to View Layout, Model View, and we're going to browse and grab the packing nut. Open that up. We'll go with the sheet scale. We're going to place this guy right about here and select this view. Hit OK. I'm going to add a section view. Select right in the center and then pull this, hit OK. And whoops, we want to move that off to this side here so we can take a peek at the inside. Alright, I'm going to add some dimensions now, and I'm going to do these on our own. So we're going to go to Annotate and go to Smart Dimension. I want to know how deep or how thick this feature is here, so I'm going to add in 1/4 of an inch right there. I'm going to put our overall dimensions in this view, and oops, put both of these guys in. So we have our diameter. We need to get our distance across the flats, so we can pick these guys. Actually, we don't need that dimension because it's tangent to that diameter, but I'm going to leave that in there. The whole dimension is going to get shown here. I'd like to add a center line in here, so under our annotation tab we're going to select center line, select these 2 lines. If I select the line, I can stretch it out just a little bit so it goes beyond the part. So let's take a look and see if this is fully dimensioned. These features, 1/2 inch each overall dimension. Our diameter is specified for our cylinder between the views. Got a repeat dimension here. We suppose we could leave that. Diameter of our hole all the way through, which is this hole, is specified. This takes care of this feature right here. This is a tapped hole, and this specifies the depth. This is the same view, so we're good here. This part is complete. Next on to final part, which is our bearing. So we're going to go to View Layout, Model View, Browse, select our bearing. In this case, it's going to be the sheet selected a smaller scale size, and that's fine. We're going to select this view. We're going to select this view, and I think we're going to put a sectional view in on this guy as well. Let's move that off to the left. Okay, we need to add several dimensions for this one. So let's get started. First I want to put some center lines in. So under Annotation, we're going to go to Center Line, select these 2. Takes care of that. Select these 2 and these 2. Looks good. We've got our machine threads. We need to do these 2 holes. So let's go to Smart Dimension. Put this. I'm going to hit Escape. This guy we want to edit if it's possible. Should be able to edit that. Alright, I guess not. So we'll put a second dimension in here. Confirm that these are the same. Alright, this is a cylinder, so we need to dimension that in this view. Likewise, this cylinder gets dimensioned in its rectangular view. It's a good place to put the thickness, this plate, along with the distance. Actually, I'm going to do that a little differently. Let's do an overall dimension first, and then we will put this dimension in instead. That looks a little cleaner. We can omit this dimension because we have this value, and this value. That takes care of that. We need to specify the hole that goes all the way through. What's happening here? Try that again.
I have one announcement. Concussion testing for fencing
Okay.
team members is taking place right now.
Alright, so
in the media center.
we've
Again,
got
those on the fencing
a hole
team
that
or
goes
anyone
already
with
through.
concussion
We've got our
testing,
threads.
please
We've got our
report to the
cylinder.
media
We need to
center
specify
right
the
now. Thank you.
radiuses on this piece and the distance between these holes. You know what? In hindsight, I think I'm going to move that over here with this one. Give myself some space here, and we need to know the distance between these two. Okay. And put the distance here. That's interesting. That's not correct. So we're going to need to edit that part. Something moved on me. We should have only one dimension here. So I'm going to click on escape right here. Take a moment to jump out, and I'm going to edit my part. By opening this part, I'm going to go right to the beginning here for this sketch. And I'm going to edit that sketch and see what we come up with. So, let's take a look at some dimensions. How far is it from that point to that point? Was supposed to be 2. That was supposed to be 2 as well. Alright. Changes things a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that this dimension is 0, and it is. And this dimension, checking to see that these are aligned vertically. It's giving me no option for a dimension there. So make sure that those are set at 2. That's pretty important. I'm going to go ahead and hit exit sketch. It's going to change things here. We're going to hit save. The good news is it's going to update all of our parts automatically, and as we can see now, this is looking a little bit cleaner. Delete that. There we go. So your numbers should match. We need to put some radiuses on here. This is a symmetrical part, so I'm just going to put 1 here, and we need 1 out here. I'm going to put it here so that it gives that indication for that radius right there. So we've got location of these 2 holes, size of these 2 holes, size of this hole, thread type. The only thing I think we're missing is this chamfer, and in SolidWorks this is going to be an interesting challenge to see what we get for this. Had to stop to do a little research there. I found it though. Chamfer has its own dimension under Tools. We're going to go to Dimensions and select Chamfer. And we're going to come in and pick our chamfer and an adjacent edge, and it's going to give us a leader with the dimensions of our chamfer. Alright, that part is complete. Just double checking our thickness, our overall length, diameters, all the holes are located, all the radius is specified, and the threads are specified. It's a completely dimensioned sheet, and we have sheet 5 for our bearing, sheet 4 for our packing nut, sheet 2 for the lock nut, sheet 1 has the assembly with the parts list, and that's it.